Hey guys, I'm Dan Rodgers with the Key Leadership Inc. and I'm excited about what we get to talk about today. We're going to talk about the subject of when in the valley. When you are in the valley, what are some thoughts on that we can take home with us? Stick around for just a minute and we will get started. Today we're going to talk about when in the valley. When you are in the valley, you and I know as we grow in our life, as a young man, I've experienced what are called valleys in my life and in my business. When we come to a time in our life when there are good days and there are bad days. Financially, there are days when there is exponential financial success and there are days when there are great financial losses. There are days when we make a lot and there are days when we lack everything. There are days in our business and seasons even in our business and in our life when we don't know what to do. And then there's other times when we know exactly what to do. We call those valleys. When we get to a point in our life where we can't see around us very clearly. I've been there. I remember the day when I was in the deepest, darkest moment of my life. Thankfully, it has passed. But the deepest, darkest moment of my life as a young man up to this point in my life, I called it a valley. And I knew I was in a valley. And I knew it was dark. I didn't know. You have a hard time sleeping at night. You don't really want to eat very much. You don't know what decision to make. Let me share one principle, first off, that I'm glad I knew before I went to the valley. Number one principle that I think I really applied in that moment in my life was this principle. Sometimes when you don't know what to do, the best thing to do is nothing at all. When you're at a point in our life or in our business where something big needs to change, we get confused, we get lost on what direction. Sometimes the best thing to do when we don't know what to do is nothing at all. I remember making that phone call to Cliff, my mentor. And I remember making that call, and that's thought number 2 that I want to share with you. Make sure you know you have a friend in your life that you can talk to, and sometimes a mentor that is ahead of you in life that may have experienced exactly what you are experiencing can help guide you through the minefield that you're going through. I picked up the phone, and I remember the day when I called Cliff. And I talked to Cliff and I shared with him these deep, dark thoughts that I was having. I was lost and I couldn't figure out what direction I needed to go. And I remember Cliff saying these words to me, and they were powerful. They were so powerful, I still remember them to this day. And I love sharing them with other people. He said, Daniel, you are in a valley, but just know that you cannot have a valley without a mountain next to it. You cannot have a valley without a mountain next to it, or it would not be a valley. When you get stuck in the valley in your life or in your business, I want to let you know that no matter what, there is a mountain next to it. Just know it's there. Just assure yourself there is a mountain. Even if you can't see it, it would not be called a valley if there was not a mountain connected to it. They would call it a plain, a flat field. They would not call it a valley. But if you are in a valley, you're seeing the bottom, you don't know what direction you ought to go. It's dark, it's hard to get around, you don't know who your friends are, you don't know if you're making the right choices, there's a mountain attached to that valley. Rest assured of that. One of the verses that I love to go to in the Bible is in Psalms 121. David starts out by saying, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. I will. It's a resolution. I will. Even though it's hard, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord which made heaven and earth. And you can rest assured when you are in the valley in your life, there's a mountain attached to it. Just lift up your eyes and know by faith there is a mountain there, even if you can't see it. When you're in the valley, what do? Number one, by principle, Sometimes when you don't know what to do, the best thing to do is nothing at all. Number 2 thought I want to share with you is the idea of picking up the phone and calling somebody. Having a mentor ahead of you in life that you can talk to in confidence. And thirdly, always know that when you're in the valley, there's a mountain attached to it.